So first, regarding this family, we're going to discuss how they should handle their debts. About their home mortgage, they should continue to pay the home mortgage as they are, and once the payments are complete, they should have the money go towards, the money going toward the mortgage to be put towards Heidi's 401k. With the credit card debt, they should consider switching credit card companies so they can lower their APR. Along with this, they should increase their monthly credit card payments to pay it off faster and avoid spending more than necessary in the future with the interest. With the student loan debt, they should increase the monthly payments on the student loan to avoid paying more in the future, once again with the interest. For Disney World, they should reconsider going to Disney World because the $500 that they put down, that loss would be more beneficial in the long run than putting another $7,500 towards it. And instead of going on this vacation, they can put more money towards a vacation up north, which will satisfy their goal of having a family vacation every year over the summer rather than a one-time trip to Disney, so that they can still have more money in the future to go on the trips that they want. With the car debt, Sean should sell his truck because it is fairly new and they can get a lot of money from this. Then he should buy a smaller used car with better gas mileage. Once Heidi's lease is up, she should also buy a smaller used car, once again because it doesn't cost as much and it has good gas mileage.
Alright, so another thing we'll be talking about is how they should deal with the goals that they have. So one of the main goals that they have is to have their children attend a four-year university without much student debt. The children's grandmother currently has a program set up where she's contributing money to their tuition for college, and she's currently spending around $700 towards it. This, of course, is not enough to pay for their full tuition for 4 years. So it's recommended that she continues to spend this money towards the tuition or even more in the future. And also, once Sean, we'll cover this later, will switch to a different life insurance plan, half of the money that he receives from that can go to the tuition for the children. Alyssa is also interested in softball. So softball is something that she can get a scholarship for in college that can help pay for that tuition as well.
Okay, so moving on to their insurance policies, we believe that the life insurance policy of Sean should first be changed so that his current wife will now become the beneficiary instead of his daughter, because if his wife is the beneficiary, then she can have access to the money and spend it on the family instead of the daughter having access to the money for herself or possibly not getting it until she reaches a certain age. We also think that the life insurance policy should be changed to follow what is provided by his employer as his wife does, because it will save the $94 monthly payments that he has to make. And this money can then be used towards large expenses such as renovating their rental home so that they can increase their rent or supporting the college fund of their children. The auto insurance will also decrease when the rental cars are bought instead of the leasing and then the new car they bought, as Amanda said, which will increase their credit scores, which will make it easier to get loans in the future for possible renovations or another rental home to increase revenue, or if their children decide to attend a more elite university and they will need more money than they have set aside for college. Moving on to unforeseen expenses and emergencies, we believe that unforeseen expenses and emergencies should be covered with the newly formed emergency fund from the $94 a month they're saving by switching life insurance plans. There will also be a nice cushion with other funds coming in through increased rental rates when they renovate the house, or the possibility of another job in Sean's future once his children go off to college.
So Heidi and Sean right now both have a substantially low contribution percentage to the 401k or the retirement fund, but Sean's isn't matched by his employer and Heidi's is. So we recommend that Heidi increase her contribution percentage because it will have the biggest impact on their 401k, and Sean can keep his the same for now. Both of their jobs have no pension, which is a very important part for their retirement. So that we recommend that Sean gets another job along with his job that he currently has now with a pension, because the only money they have for their retirement currently is the 401k money. We also recommend that Heidi and Sean wait to retire 1.5 years more past their age of 58, so they'll be 49.5, because by this age they won't have to pay a 10% tax and they're able to put more money into their retirement as well.
So for their tax return, we have some suggestions as well. So we suggest that they pay off their mortgage in bulk payments in order to lower the payment in the future and decrease the total interest paid as well. So if they put their tax returns toward the mortgage, they will be able to lower the total interest for these payments. And then after their mortgage is paid off, we suggest that they focus on building the emergency funds in case something were to happen, because they don't really have an emergency fund as of right now. And then after their emergency fund is built up, we suggest that they invest in rentals to gain more money in retirement without any available pensions from their employers.
Regarding the income tax, they should pay as much of their income tax as early as they can in the beginning per paycheck, so they get more back in the future with their tax return at the end of the year. Also because they don't want to be paying extra with the interest that will acquire later.
So we have some other suggestions as well. So in the 10 years when the first kid is in college and the second kid is in the middle of high school and more independent, we suggest that Sean should pick up a second job to put money into their 401k, and this would allow them a much easier retirement and to reach their goal of the 85% retirement. And we would also like to increase the form of income in retirement because they don't have a pension, and we would like them to focus on their investment in rentals, which would allow them a monthly income since they don't have a pension. And so one suggestion for this is to buy a cottage to rent part-time, and they could also use this as a vacation home during the summer instead of renting something. And they could also invest in the remodel of their current rental house by buying out Sean's brother and also remodeling or updating this home, which would allow them to increase the rent and gain more income from that.
Tell me about how you analyze their current budget and what their current expenses are. Who worked on their budget?
We all worked on it together. Some parts of the monthly budget were like their home mortgage, their credit card debt,
Car payments.
There were other ones. We calculated it all. We made it so we had their salary, which was like a yearly salary, and then for each monthly payment, we multiplied that by 12, and then so we took that away. So we had like how much money they had for a year, and then like we added their Heidi's bonus and like the tax return. So that's how we kind of had their budget.
Did you think that their budget looked appropriate? Do they have some flexibility based on that?
Currently, their budget is good for them to sustain their lifestyle for now, but in the future, like with the 401k, they're not going to have enough money to live comfortably in retirement. So that's how we tried to figure out how to move things around.
They also had some pretty high-reaching goals too. They wanted to be able to support both of their kids and a 4-year tuition for college. So in order to be saving for that now, while they're only 10 and 5, they really needed to up their income and stop spending so much money on like the Disney World vacation that would have cost over $8,000.
And you were earmarking the $94 to start their emergency fund. Was there any other income going into the emergency fund to boost that?
Yeah, we were also looking at if they're switching cars to new cars and leasing a car to a rental car, the money they were saving to use that would also go into that.
And I apologize, did you give us a number, what you'd like them to have in the emergency fund?
Not an exact number, but we were thinking between $500 and $1,000.
Okay, for emergency. And then lastly, if you're going to get Sean out of his life plan, did you guys discuss if you would put them or him or her or both into a different plan?
Yeah, we actually covered on that a little bit. We're gonna try. We were thinking that if his wife has already has a life insurance plan through her provider or her employer, we want him to look into the same thing as well, because it will still give him a life insurance plan, but it will also give them more income right now.
Because they will be paying that $94 per month for their current insurance plan.
Okay.
I just have a question about the cars. You mentioned a rental car. Do you mean purchasing rental cars?
Purchasing a used car is what we meant, not a rental car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you could buy from them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Nice job,
Thanks.
ladies.
Yep.
Thank you.